It's 23 degrees Celsius here in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise Daily, your daily dose of sunshine. I'm Maokwe Ogun Yusuf.
Good morning, I'm Ayo Makinde. You know, Maokwe, it's a bit interesting this morning. And I'm choosing the weather of two places, Lagos as a whole and a specific locality. In Lagos, the weather is saying 26 degrees, but guess what? It's slightly warmer in Surulere this morning at 27 degrees. And I wonder if that has anything to do with what's going on in Surulere at this time, because, of course, you are not unaware of what is happening, Maokwe. And, you know, for many bystanders, they're just wondering, Lagos hardly had this kind of political back and forth. And now, okay, let me put it this way. Your Lagos, Maokwe, seems to be in the eye of the storm, so to speak.
Well, indeed, Ayo, we'll be measuring the political temperature in Lagos soon enough, particularly in the Surulere area. But first, let us go to Oyo as it brings to all of us in Nigeria, once again, a question that has become painfully familiar. How does a society respond when violence becomes so brazen, so theatrical, that even human life is reduced to a message? The gruesome killing of an abducted teacher in Oyo State has sent shockwaves across the country. The name of the teacher killed is Mr. Michael Oyedokun, who was among those abducted by terrorists somewhere in Oyo State. Well, his killing is gruesome or has sent shockwaves, not just because of the brutality involved, but because it raises troubling questions about the expanding geography of insecurity in Nigeria. For many observers, this is no longer just a security story. It's becoming a cultural, communal, and moral emergency. And in moments like this, voices outside formal government often become just as important. Yes, we've heard from the Oyo State governor, who has said they will do their best to release those teachers and the students. And the president has also condemned very strongly the killing of the teacher. But we also want to hear from voices rooted in history, identity, and community mobilization. Our next guest is one of the most recognizable socio-cultural leaders in the Southwest, the national coordinator of the Odua People's Congress, a traditionalist, activist, and prominent Yoruba leader. Well, Are Ono Kakanfo of Yoruba land, Gani Adams, joins us on Sunrise Daily this morning. Iba, it is lovely to have you on the program. We wish we were having you under a different set of circumstances. But I'm sure that you have also seen what has happened in the communities where these abductions have taken place, and the very gruesome message sent by these terrorists who have carried out these abductions. How did you, and I'm sure those that you lead, feel about the videos that have now made the rounds?
Well, it's very sad that such a thing is happening in Yoruba land now. We have the opinion that the security of Southwest is still far from other political zones in Nigeria. But what happened in Ordeal local government in Oyo State 2 days ago was very sad and is highly condemnable. We have had series of kidnapping in different states, but we have not witnessed mass kidnapping in Yoruba land. And that shows that the Yoruba people, Yoruba race, and Southwest must prepare for this issue of insecurity. And I've been raising about that we have been seriously inflicted. Precisely November last year, I mentioned 4 states that these criminals have infiltrated these states. I mentioned Ondo State, Ekiti State, Osun State, and Oyo State. And there was a time, practically, I mentioned Ogun State. But as the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, I have the limit power to involve in security agitations of our country, especially Yoruba land. I've written to the Southwest Governor that there is a need for collaboration on the issue of security. All hands must be on decks on these ugly issues. But for the past 2 years, he did not reply me. And I've pointed it out in different media platforms. We have held a World Press Conference on this issue about 5 months ago. There is need for the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò through Ààrẹ in Council and 14 different organizations, not only Oodua People's Congress, to collaborate with the government. Even in the level of local government, it's very, very important. It's very, very important that we should collaborate so that we can be useful on intelligent gathering and with the mass followers we have and the security. These voluntary organizations they can help the government. But I don't know why they refuse. And people continue to put blame on me. Some people thought if you are the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, you refuse to do something on the issue of insecurity that is threatening our commercial activities, even threatening our, because virtually 9 Yoruba land that I know when I was home in I normally live in the evening, like 5, 6 a.m. without fear of any insecurity or criminal. Now, if you have enough security men in your company, in the especially major road, Ibadan, or people might come in Arigidi. So I think it is us to see this issue must be treated with a seriousness, not with politics.
Well, Ààrẹ, it does appear that your audio is fading somewhat. We hope that we are able to correct that as we go forward in this conversation. But let me quickly, take your mind back, because you said that you had initially issued a warning precisely in November last year, announcing the fact that there has been an incursion and that, certain states were in danger. You named the states to be Ondo, Ekiti, Osun, and Oyo states. But some people will say even before that time, we had witnessed some incursions. For instance, what happened in Owo? The murder we saw in Owo of people in churches who were just in a church who had just gone to worship. And that already gave an inkling of what was to come. We already saw the gathering of governors and the birth of Amotekun, as it were. And people believed that Amotekun was going to be another extra layer, or shall I say a layer beneath the police that could help with local intelligence gathering and also help solve issues like this. But it does appear that we are underestimating these terrorists and their intentions, especially in many communities in the Southwest. So can you tell us what your group has been able to gather so far, what the RA in council and the people at the grassroots where your influence is felt, what is it that they have seen so far that governments at the top are yet to really see?
Hello, my dear sister, are you hearing me? The network is
loud and clear. I can hear you, sir.
now. Please repeat the question again.
I was asking, I was trying to take your mind back to a bit of history and what we have seen so far in terms of the security threats. But I was going to ask you what precisely you have now seen at the grassroots level that the leaders at the top are yet to see?
Okay, let me just speak on what you have said. You know, the opportunity to have grassroots followers. You don't have our options as an organization, and you have the opportunity to know what is happening and to know what, and that gives and having on what on some state and community, and travel to a yes, 7 countries, and I see how the security acts as a must be on decks on the issue of security of the country. Something that was not even paid confidently give government and what will happen to them or their neighbors. So I think something like that in there. You should not have the mindset that the issue of security agencies and apart from a collaboration suggested that the issue of police is I don't know why the presidency continue to dodge the. We are thinking of politics, and you are pushing back from proper. The first priority of any government is to get life out. And day by day, we are witnessing serious issues on the rate of life in different parts of the country. Today in still in broad day in casino markets. And by tomorrow, that something happened. And I even realized international media of publishing is happening in Nigeria negatively. As we a daily on our company. The presidency, we know that anything that happens on that state, the blame always be on the father of the country. And the international community will even blame the government. Oh, issue happening in jurisdiction or own area to the president. I think it's very, very important that the president for the state and local government to have their own security. You can't run from this issue. When you know be hearing bad news today, and the image presidency seriously now moving to the election period by next year. And for them to the people, if you can't secure them in the country they are in, fear come to our country every day because the news that is split on the security. So we have to do everything disposal. The take its decision on the issue of state police, even local government said we need some people will say they will cast the governor will castise public government. The governor is the chief security officer of the state. Reflected mandates. And when this thing reflects in the document on our practice it, realizing we are practicing, how should 9 states have their own security at minimum stage? The issue of Abduction active than we have now, but the government refuses to carry like AK-47 is sophisticated arms that can discriminate. When we have a modern weapon, AK-47 machine gun, okay.
Oh, it does appear that we have lost the area on Okankanfo there on this. There's been a technical problem. I will be looking forward to reconnecting with him, but the conversation continues to happen as to how it is that we can, wake up the security network, particularly at the grassroots level. He's been saying that there have been conversations or attempts at conversation with the state and federal governments, but it doesn't look like there's been a lot of traction in that regard. Well, we'll look to see how we can reconnect with Are and ask him a few questions, especially with regards to state police, which is one of the options that is being considered right now, especially in the wake of this latest attack on Oyo State. Are, it appears that you're back.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can hear me. Sorry, your network went off briefly. I do know, I think you were mentioning something along the lines of state police. I do not know if you also think that would be one way to go to be able to help solve this problem in Nigeria in general, and particularly in Yoruba land.
State police with the collaboration with the private group we have. State police. They are running from state police. You are confirming on the problem. Insecurity, giving us a signal that you are not serious with the insecurity. Have the responsibility to, likewise, federal government have the responsibility to their life and property. Government in charge of grassroots. The issue of security is local. The issue of security is local. And if we can't allow the local government and state government to produce, there is something to it. The issue of the thing.
So do you believe then that instead of state police, we should have community police? Is that what you're proposing?
Community police was reflecting in the Nigerian police was like an inforce beyond the police that were pronounced by the federal police. We need is even you don't use the local state police. We need a because the security is local. What now when you read in the local when the news just drop out with in Badon, we heard that the issue in Ordeal local government in Ogbomoso that shared by Kwara State, and you know what happened in Kwara State? Community have been affected by insecurity. I believe this criminal move to come and cause this out in Oyo State. And I believe that if the security agents, the case, these people that have been captive in Kwara can still hold in Oyo State. The infiltration came serious. We have to see community police with arms, not by info. A community police on informants. The issue of informant, the level of a crime stage using some informant, information only. We need policing. Either police by the local, supervised by the governor of.
Well, I do know that my colleague Ayo also has questions for you. Over now to you, Ayo.
Well, thank you, Mawkwe. I'm actually hoping, Are, that you can hear me very well, because I would like us to take a bit of a historical trajectory. As a result of what the OPCD, Odua People's Congress, did, earlier on in this republic, the Arewa Youth Congress, Arewa People's Congress also came on, and their objective was also to do what exactly the OPC was doing. The OPC back then, among other things, was a kind of vigilante organization in the southwest of Nigeria. And I know that while the OPC reigned supreme, hardly would anyone attempt any kind of attack on the on any part of the southwest. I know that because even in the northeast, when all kinds of insecurity was happening, they had what they called a civilian joint task force, which pretty much did what OPC did back then in the southwest and helped to forestall a lot of these insecurity issues. I'm wondering, is that something, did the OPC go under? What exactly happened? Because that was probably some kind of support for the official police at the time. Can you hear me, sir?
Back. I can hear you back.
Okay. So I don't know did you get the question?
Okay, you are talking OPC.
Yes.
In terms of security in 1999 to 2005.
Did it go under?
Okay, Mr. Ayo.
Yes, I am. I said, did it go under?
Respond.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
What did we are is it open? We are suggesting to the Southwest an organization. OPC is one of the coalitions talking about. I'm talking of stakeholders. It's a group that was formed about 7 years ago. We have OPC. Even we have 14 different groups that will collaborate. Talking beyond. And mind you, the OPC was talking about in 1995, 2005, OPC have been more organized beyond what you people thought by the time. We have very good structure that's happening in 1999 to 2005. And we're talking of a group, coalition of it, which is 14 different groups that will collaborate on the issue of even going to the police and confront these criminals. Even though if government is not ready to take police, this group can be held level. So from that, we will reduce the issue of psychologically of OPC, what OPC can do. And if government just announced that this to collaborate with us, I think it will go a long way to reduce crime in Southwest. It's going now. Our region is the next target to these criminals. Witnessing for the last 3 months is not what we have been witnessing before. Before we always have our boundary attack in our boundary, a boundary of Kogis, and a boundary from maybe Oshun, okay. Now, from recorded for the past 3 months, show that we have been seriously to go two place attack in Ibadan. 4 days ago, serious in the areas. And we have been hearing about what happened in Akure. But the issue of kidnapping more close to the commercial of Nigeria, which is Lagos. From information in said it last that Lagos two have been infiltrated. Their target is not to alone, is to cause destruction. And when you are a whole account for land, you don't even call him to hear from him. That shows that on the insecurity. He's saying this. Even the commoner giving kind of information has the right to invite him and what can we do, even though you don't need to collaborate.
Well, Are,
no one's
I think that, you know, the information that you've just given us, I think that, you know, the information that you've just given us now with regards to suspicions around K2 in Lagos, I mean, it sounds more to me like intelligence, really. We're hoping that, you know, that formal leaders, formal government leaders will reach out. And I was also hoping that you two would not relent. You wouldn't give up in your reaching out to government officials to share with them what it is that you have. Because at the end of the day, what we really want to see is not just a safer Yoruba land, but also a safer Nigeria by extension. We have to thank you for speaking with us this morning. It's been a pretty difficult conversation because of the technical connection. We're hoping that we'll have you in our studios sometime soon, that you'll grant us the honor of your presence in one of our studios, either in Lagos or Abuja, whenever it is that you're there. We can have a more robust conversation. But thank you so much for joining us this morning, Iba Gani Adams, who's the Are Ono Kankanfo of Yoruba Land. Thank you for speaking with us on Sunrise Daily.
Thank you.
Well, we take a break now. When we come back, we'll be measuring the political temperature in Surulere and Ayo. We'll have that conversation. Please stay with us.
Thank you so much for staying with us. That's the next conversation we're having. For those who have been following events in Lagos, in Surulere particularly, you've heard the comments of the Chief of Staff to the President, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, saying that something almost cost him his job. And the fellow whose name he mentioned is our guest this morning. It's difficult to call him Mr., but well, okay, he is Honorable Desmond Elliot, member, Lagos State House of Assembly, Surulere 1. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. It's nice being here.
Let me begin on a jocular note. When I Googled your name, Google told me first, Desmond Elliot, Nigerian actor.
First.
So
after 11 years.
Not Nigerian politician.
Well,
just so you know. Well, but then it's not so easy in politics, is it? It's
oh no.
Politics is not acting.
They're two different worlds entirely. One is make believe, one is the real world. And I just think I'm very fortunate to have had the opportunity to be in both worlds. And not too many people in this world would have had the opportunity. So for God to have given me this, I say thank you to him.
Perhaps, again, maybe on a note of counsel before we get into the real issue is,
yes.
You cross from one career into another.
Exactly.
There are now a number of people who are also wondering, okay, I'm a banker and I love to sing. Maybe I should plunge in now.
I think you should. You should. You could be the Tina Turner of our time.
Why did you have to go first to the female? I'm offended.
Okay, I'll have to think of a man who
There's
turned...
only one you should have thought about now,
Which
and that's
is it?
Michael Jackson.
Ah.
The fact that you didn't think about that one, I'm offended.
My
on his behalf.
apologies for that. My apologies for that.
Now let's get to it.
Thank you.
Recently, which is what is causing the furore, is the Chief of Staff to the President, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, who says he had a high level of respect for you, made some comments that's become news. And I'm sure that news came to you quite as some kind of shock. And I've also listened to you also say that at the time the whole imbroglio started, you weren't really in town. So what exactly is happening now, particularly what's happened since since Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila made that statement? Have you had any overtures with him? Tell us what exactly is the background.
Thank you very much. Well, pretty much, yes, I was very surprised when that happened. I would like to state categorically that I wasn't in the country. My wife and I traveled for...
At what time were you not in the country?
That was during the period of January 13th of 2025. We were in recess, and then it was an opportunity for us to travel to attend my wife's younger sister's wedding.
Was that the time that the House of Assembly impeached
Yes,
Honorable?
that was the time.
Okay.
Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa was impeached. It came to me as a shock because I was in South Africa then. So obviously it took me about 2 days to come back. I was also as confused as everybody was. And then I saw that almost everybody had signed. And pretty much we thought it was from the presidency. In all fairness, we thought it was from the presidency. And of course, I put in I appended my own signature. I believe I was maybe 30-something person at that point in time, because others who had traveled had returned and had also signed. But eventually, Mr. President called us and made us understand that it was not from him and asked us to return the speaker. And we did. So my leader coming to say this, that I almost lost his job, one I have served and has also been there for me for this long, to have said that came to me as a shock.
So why is the opinion of the president so important to the House of Assembly if the House of Assembly was doing what it's supposed to do constitutionally?
Oh no, so at this point in time, don't forget that we work with leadership. It's just like what you have in America today. Trump is the leader of the Republican Party, you know? So whatever he says means a lot. As it happens to us also in Lagos State and in other states, whatever leadership says, don't forget you're not there as a person. You are representing the party. So it's the party that decides. So once the party makes a decision, the party has made a decision. So if the party makes a decision, you could make a suggestion, but at the end of the day, party is supreme.
Interesting, because there are those who also say that while the president is, as you say, the leader of the party, we have also heard that the president himself listens to the opinion, particularly in Lagos, of the GAC.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering, did this overtures, did it go as far as the GAC?
So like I said, I didn't know much. So that was why it came to me as a shock when my leader made such a statement, because these are informations I know nothing about. When you know nothing about an information, you can't even give answers to them. Well,
yes. Mr. Honorable Gbajabiamila also said that,
Right Honorable.
Yeah, Right Honorable Gbajabiamila also said that he asked you to make a public statement about the thing. But as at the time he was speaking, he said he hadn't heard anything from you. Did you speak with him?
To be very honest, yes, I spoke with him during that period. Okay. I always seek his opinion. He's my leader, he's always been my leader. I always seek his opinion, especially when it comes to matters concerning the house and a decision would have to be made. I always have to seek his opinion. He did speak with me at that period. He never at any point in time asked me to make a public opinion. And I'm saying that categorically. But you see, at this point, I always said, like I also said in other information, I am not in a position to speak about my leader. My leader is in a position to speak about his subordinate. I can't speak about my leader. I'm trained not to. You can call it acting wise, you can call it omoluabi, you can call it because I'm a Yoruba boy. It's just like when Zeb Ejiro speaks, then Desmond is speaking, looking at his eyes. I can't do that. Or when a Bimbo Manuel speaks, I can't, because these are leaders in that industry. The same applies to, or that I've also taken into my political world. I cannot look at the face of my leader whenever it comes to things like that. I listen very intently at his advice and whatever he tells me. Yes, he spoke to me. We spoke at that period during the time, and whatever he told me, I took to the house because I told him it would be very cowardly of me to single-handedly leave a bunch of 36 people or 37 people and move to another side without taking the chunk of people. So I told the chunk of people that this is what I heard, you know, at that point in time. And you see, because it's a matter that has been dead and buried, Mr. President says it's over. It's over is it's over. So for my leader to bring the issue up at this political time, I think is somewhat quite surprising to me, especially with the kind of regard and respect that I have shown him in almost all my projects. Everybody in Surulere knows I have put my leader first in it. I've put him first in everything from the football competition to lag rides to power to whatever it is. I always make sure my leader comes first. I'm always second to it because, or third, because I see leadership as one day you will be there. And I do that with pride. Even when people say, why do you always do this? I say it doesn't matter. He is the leader of Surulere. That you must accord to him. So when I'm seen like being thrown under the bus, you know, at this point in time, for an issue that has been dead and buried, Mr. President has said everything is gone, it's over, revert to status quo, everybody move as you are. And we've been moving like that for over a year plus. So revisiting that situation is not something I think I want to revisit.
Okay, but clearly that issue is not as buried as we thought. Somehow
no, I think
it has come alive.
That's why we have the party structure. Okay. And I believe so much in the All Progressives Congress party structure. We have such a formidable party structure that I think through investigations they'll be able to do that. But I do not see myself standing hand in hand or one-to-one with my leader, someone I've respected for over 12 years.
Is there any chance of you having a conversation with him just to understand what exactly is happening? Because for him to have made that public statement,
yes,
at what looked like a town hall meeting,
exactly,
then he must have some kind of information. And it's also perhaps a bit surprising that even at that meeting, one would have expected that he was going to talk about it. You would be there at that meeting. Do you have any idea where that meeting held and why you weren't there?
I understood he held at the local government council.
In your constituency?
In the constituency, yes. Okay. I wasn't around at that period, even though I wasn't invited. I'm not sure, I couldn't give details of that meeting, really. But what I do know is it was a topic that was already dead and buried. It was sorted out. The House is already moving on. The House has been moving. Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajay-Obasa continued as Speaker of the House. I did not mastermind anything. I had nothing at all. Nothing at all. The only thing I did was to append my signature when I came back and I saw a bunch of us, you know, if not all of us had already appended the signature to saying, oh, it was the party who wanted it. But eventually, the man, the number one, Asiwaju, called and said, I didn't order that thing. I didn't know anything.
Do you have any idea where it came from?
Where can an ant in all of this find what's my business in all of that? My business is follow the structure, make sure you are accountable to your people. Don't forget I'm a representative. I'm not an investigator. I'm not a whatever. As a representative, my job is lobby the dividends of democracy to your people.
Could it be because there are those who have also considered maybe this is some way of people saying, okay, we've had enough of Honorable Elliot. Let's bring someone else.
Well, I don't think that would be the voice of the people, which is why in the benevolence and magnanimity of Mr. President, also said, everybody go and test your popularity.
Okay.
Go out and do direct primaries.
So that's why you are not, withdrawing for the candidate.
Because I was not asked by him, my leader. Never. Okay. I went, even the day I declared, I flew to Abuja. On that day, I declared my intentions. The day I bought my form, I flew to Abuja to go and to see him again, to tell him, Oga, which is how I call him, Oga, I am here again. But at the end of the day, I am here to also serve the people. Okay. I do have leadership, I do have the people. And if the people, so the president has said, let the people decide. If they want you to continue, they would let you continue. If they don't. So the issue I would like to bring here is in the issue that I raised 2 days or 3 days ago about intimidation. And I think that is a matter that must really be dealt with. And I'm hoping that the party stalwarts and party leadership should look seriously into it.
Who is intimidating who?
I don't know who the who is, but what I do know is we are being intimidated in Surulere. If you know you are popular and you are on ground, do not intimidate the people.
Okay. Now, we also understand that,
yes.
Well, news report says that the DG of your campaign says he will decamp from the Desmond group to the Barakat group. Are you aware of that?
No, my DG is still very much with me, but I do have some of my people in my think tank that were also working at the local government and have been sacked. And they have to survive. Some of them have called me crying. We've cried together. And I said, my brother, go back, go and feed your family. If it means you have to stop. But you see, these are things that must stop. And if this is what God has brought me to the party and to politics to do and to stop, I have been very truthful to my people. If people can come into my house, sit down, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 10 a.m., and then you can open yourself entirely to your people, then you can be able to say stop. So you can stop, sirs, I'm sorry, stop the intimidation of people. Stop coercing them. Now they've told him they are going to stop the revenue he's receiving and he's getting for the local government because he's one of my supporters.
So who is this intimidator, if I can use the word?
Obviously, I've called the local government. So if you hear the local government, you know who the head of the local government is.
So that's the chairman.
Who apparently happens to be my friend.
That's the chairman of the local government?
But the chairman of the council, obviously, we're all loyal to one person. And if one person gives a directive, you know what it is. But at the end of the day, we should not forget that this is primaries. Surulereans are watching. They are seeing. They know those who are accessible. They know those who they call. They know those who go to the hospitals. They know those who take care of the widows. They know those who answer phone calls. They know the people who are on ground. And that is what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been asking everybody to look out for. Look out for those people who are doing these things, who are accessible, because they are the ones that will bring APC back to power. Now I'm twisting people and forcing people into doing other people that are not popular on ground. And you think that there's no general election? There is a general election. And at that general election, people will see. Okay. Let's see if you can twist them.
Even though you are still not mentioning any names.
No, I can't. I can't mention names.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's clear. Surulere know what I'm talking about.
Okay. I'm sure that Malkwe, my colleague in Abuja, has questions for you as well.
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Malkwe.
Well, it's a pretty tricky situation, Honorable Desmond Elliot. I mean, just looking at what it is that has happened, this is the first time that you've had, well, I say big issues like this. And they're major issues, especially when you hear from someone that you're of you and an action that you took. You have said you usually take instructions now, but you take your cue from the leadership. At the time when you saw the paper where everyone had signed, removing Honorable Mudashiru, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa as a speaker, did you try to make any findings as to what exactly it was about?
Yes, I actually, thank you very much. And it's so nice talking to you. Last time we spoke was 10 years ago when you congratulated me, if you can remember. But anyways, yes, I did. I called a few of my friends, close friends who are colleagues, and I'm like, why una not tell me, see, this kind of thing they happen? And they say, but they're around now. We don't know. Now, as we see them, I mean, this is how we speak. And So basically, it's more like saying we follow the bandwagon. But at the end of the day, the leader of the party called a meeting and it was sorted. Everybody did their apologies. Everybody, as a matter of fact, if we could recall, on that same day as we were leaving the villa, because the chief of staff was at the villa, I came down from the bus, and many of my colleagues can attest to that, with one of my colleagues, and we went to see the chief of staff, not only to thank him, but to show solidarity, to say thank you, sir, love you, you know, because everybody knows how much I have truly loved this, the leader in Surulere. And that's how it went. So yes, I asked some of my colleagues what had happened, you know, and then, so yes, that's
yes, you asked your colleagues, but not the leadership.
So leadership at this point was, if you remember, the lady had come in, which is Honorable Miranda had come in at this point as speaker, and you know, we just got feedback from that, and that's it, you know. You must understand that in politics you have to be very, very careful and extremely careful, which is why I tread very carefully in politics. You can't hear this or hear that. So you follow as the leadership in the House. The House is a separate arm of government, and the leadership starts from the speaker down. So when you listen to the speaker at this point, which is the woman who had come in, Right Honorable Miranda had come in at this point, and we listened and we came down. When I got another information, I called her. At this point, I was in Jos Plateau State celebrating the 60th anniversary of St. John's College, and I told her on video call that I had gotten a different information, and I relayed it to her. And I said, ma'am, I think it's best for us to tell the people what had happened, because it would be very cowardly of me to leave, to just leap and leave and go to the other side without everybody coming along, which I also did at that point in time.
All right, so I'm just a little curious then, you know, with all that is currently happening. When you said something, and when you were in the House, you're representing the party. But at this point right now, when you're going to primaries, you're talking about what you have done for the people of Surulere. Who exactly do you represent? Do you represent the party or do you represent the people?
I represent the people, but I listen to the party because the party brings me in. It's the party, I mean, I didn't come in as Desmond Elliot. I came in as an APC representative. But once I come in as a representative, whether you're in UNN, APC, GGP, KKA, I represent you, and I show, and that I have shown in everything I've done. In areas of road infrastructure, many roads have been I've lobbied through into Surulere. Solar lights, as you've seen today, a lot of solar lights have been. If you come into Lagos, Surulere today, you'll find out from Akerele down to Adeniro Ogunsonya, Akinshemoyi, Eric Mo, Bode Thomas, Western Avenue, Ogulano Drive. Everywhere is lit up with solar-powered electricity. I've also been involved in the injection power substation, to which I had the land given. The land was given to me by the then LSDPC MD in person of Sanwo-Olu, who is the present governor, and I turned it over to Ecodisco and also spoke with the then speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, who provided a 20 MVA. So today in Surulere, we are proud owners of 220 MVA powered transformers that can power not only Surulere, Kokaguda, Itire Kate, Mushi, and even Lagos mainland. I am so proud to the great effect and work we've been able to do. In terms of prepaid meters, we know that they've been doing a lot of estimated billings. Today in Surulere, you can't find that. You find very minimally. I have been very instrumental into making sure that a lot of prepaid meters have been given out. What I'm focusing right now is to make sure that the macro and micro water substations we have in Surulere will work for the people of Surulere, and we are already working on it because we are trying to make sure Ajinyo works and Iju Water works. And if those two don't work, we'll make sure that Surulere itself can supply water to Surulereans. And that is the reason, that's my scorecard. I'm saying base this on scorecard, not on intimidation, not on telling people not to come out on the day of election, not to tell them that you're going to do this and I'm not going to get them into the empowerment. What is empowerment? Cars that will go and die? please, I want to speak to the people of Surulere. The life of your children rely on the people who represent you. We have been doing it and will continue to do it. If you know Desmond Elliot have been doing it for you. You can knock on my door. I have never told one person, any day, any time, to go out of my house when they come knocking. I will never do that. As long as God has given me the strength. And I'm telling you today that I will not stop at doing it. As long as you give me the opportunity. Do not be intimidated. Do not be afraid. Come out on Wednesday tomorrow and come and vote for the candidate of your choice. And guess who that candidate is?
So I take it this is the first time you've had to face this level of intimidation. Is that correct in your constituency?
Yes, ma'am. And also I had two personnels given to me about 3 weeks ago because of an incident that happened. And all of a sudden they just called me out of the blues and said they were asked to leave. And I'm like, leave for where?
So doesn't this tell you that perhaps, you know, someone might be beating the drums behind the scene that perhaps you're no longer wanted?
By whom? By the people? I'm here to, I'm answerable to the people.
By the leaders, perhaps?
No, it cannot be the leaders. APC is not like that. The APC, so let's be very clear about this. The All Progressives Congress is not an intimidating, we might have people in the APC doing this, but not the APC. And I know Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will definitely frown when he discovers, because I know he will do his investigation and he will find out who has ordered for that to have happened. So with that, my life is now at risk. So, but I am here.
I'm noting the fact that you have been very careful, you know, you have been very careful to continue to pledge your loyalty to the leadership. I mean, you're wearing a T-shirt that has the president's face in it. You've been saying that, you know, the president is the leader of the party, etc., etc. However, all of this, it would seem, whatever it is we've been experiencing in the last 3 weeks up until now, you know, gained even more traction after the Right Honorable former Speaker, now Chief of Staff, you know, had that engagement, which went viral, where some people will say, I don't want to use the term, but I can't find another, threw you under the bus.
So like I said, I couldn't tell why my leader, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, raised that topic up, because even after that time, we have had series of engagements. I have visited him countless times at the villa. We have had smooth relationship. So, I mean, he will be in a better position to answer that question. But I do not think it's something, and like I said, as an Omoluabi, let's not forget that the tenets of a Yoruba person is what I am and how I have been brought up. I could never look up to a leader and speak about him. I think leadership should be able to handle that. It's my job to say there is a situation at hand. Can leadership look at it? I don't want to get myself involved in it. What I am against, what I am firmly against is talking down and bringing people and intimidating people and sacking people, firing people from the local government because they are my supporters. I think it is wrong. I think it should not be done. And do not forget that people who are not partisan, who are just sitting on the fence, are watching. And don't forget that there is a general election coming up soon. And I want to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu to return as president. And I want to be at the forefront of him coming back to bring the dividends of democracy. Because I know Bola Ahmed Tinubu has nothing but legacy to give to Nigerians. Let's give that opportunity. Now, they will now say, look at you. Look at what they've done to you. Eh? How can you now stand? So please, I want to beg those who are intimidating people. I want to beg Surulere local government, stop intimidating us.
Do you think it's a good idea for you to bring this intimidation up with your leader, as you call Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila?
To raise it up with him?
Is he aware?
I believe he's aware. Okay. I'm sure he's aware.
Is this something you want to raise with him personally?
Well, I could send a message, I could call him. Yes, I've tried to reach out to him on several occasions. You know, you know, like I said again, I always come back. You see, I'm one who is very strong with tradition, culture, and tenets. As a matter of fact, one of my greatest, hopefully Surulere brings me back, is bringing the Lagos State Orientation Agency, whereby we begin to start letting our people understand those things that are not in the Constitution, which is how we are as a people.
Okay.
Respect. So yes, my plan is, and the plan is for my boss and whoever it is to understand that we must stop intimidating people.
Okay. I guess the coming days will tell us exactly.
I hope so.
What we're waiting to hear. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Desmond Elliot, member, Lagos State House of Assembly, Surulere 1. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
We wish you the best. And that's the show this morning. Thank you for the privilege of being a part of your Tuesday morning. I'm Ayo Makinde. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf. On top of the hour is Business Morning.